we are talking about investment, you've heard people measure. Please, I think it would be better for me to put off my video so that the network will be more stable. Please, if you can't hear me, let me know. At any point you can't hear me, please let me know. We've been hearing a lot about investing, people are investing and all that. We've heard people talk about US stock. We've been hearing a lot of things, people talking about MTN shares, a lot of things, that we've been seeing around, and we are asking ourselves, what happened? What are they talking about? What is all these things that they are talking about? Investing is just a way of growing our money. The simple term, investing is just a way of growing our money, growing wealth, improving our money, letting that money grow, appreciate in value. And in the Nigerian ecosystem, in the Nigerian economic system, there are different ways we can invest. Outside, running your own business, starting a business, there are other ways that is backed by the federal government, that is legal, that if anything happens, if you are confused, you can go to their office. They have offices that you can go to and ask questions. You have offices you can go to and sit down on their neck if there are issues. So these are companies, just like the way we can go to bank and put our money in the bank. And we are sure that when we need that money, we can go back and get the money. And the CBN is regulating the bank, and there is NDIC that is also insuring our money with the bank. The same way this also operates. So we have the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we have the debt market too, the Nigerian debt market that handle the aspects of Debt Management Office of Nigeria, that handle the aspects of the bonds, that handle the aspects of the Treasury bill. So we have these bodies, that guide how these investments are being run in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I wouldn't want to go to deep terms so that we won't get bored with that. There is difference. By now, we should know that there is difference between saving and investing. If we are saving our money, we are saving it for a short term to gather money, maybe to do something sharp, to be able to accumulate money to buy something. And if we are investing, we are putting the money so that money will grow. So savings, and the interest rate from saving is not that great like what we will get from investing. I will still explain all these things in detail when we get to that point. So, for those of us that have been saving, maybe it is time for us to start looking at investments, start looking at investing. Because if you go to the bank now, for example, either you are using a bank or you are using a saving app. When you go to the bank now, the interest rate, if you tell the bank that I want to save money for 1 year, the interest rate they will give you, is very small. And if you are using a saving app, for example, for PiggyVest, depending on the amount, but I think their interest rate is about 20% for a year. So if you put your money in PiggyVest for a year now, you will get 20%. That is still okay. But what about if we now look at investments now? So now it's okay, instead of putting the money into savings, can I also put it in investment? You will now see the difference between the two, saving and investment. Then again, investing is very key to building long-term wealth. We've heard of people will say, I bought shares 50 kobo, and now the shares is now 5 naira, and you like 50 kobo to 5 naira. You'll be wondering what's they happen, like 50 kobo to 5 naira. With investing, people can build long-term wealth. With investing, if you really take time to look at where you want to put the type of investment you want to put that money, sometimes people get over 100-200% of the money they put in the investment vehicle within 2 to 3 years. In short, with what we've seen in the market this year, I've seen people turn over their money like times two, times almost times three, depending on the type of stock or the investment vehicle they use. I'm going to explain it when we get to that place. But again, in this thing that I'm saying, the purpose, your reason for investing will determine where you will put that money. Your level in life, your experience in life also will go a long way to determine where you put that money. So some housekeeping before investing. If you have money now and the money you don't need the money, maybe for like 1 year, 2 years, then you start looking at, okay, where can I put this money that will give me the maximum return based on my risk profile, based on my risk appetite. Okay, this money I need it in the next 1 year. Okay, let me put it in Treasury B. I will get it back at the end of 1 year. Oh, okay, let me put it in, like I mentioned, piggy vest. Let me put it in piggy vest. They will give me 20%. And with piggy vest, if I put it, I will collect the 20% immediately. So that 20%, maybe for example, now you have 1 million naira to invest in piggy vest. As you put it, you will get the 20% immediately. So even the 20% of that 1 million, you can also put it into another investment. You can also lock it up in another service, or you can use that money to do something else. And when it's 1 year, after 1 year, you are getting your 1 million naira back. Those are the options you will look at. If you have money that is idle, it's not that you need that money urgent, then you can now start looking at, okay, I can put it in shares. I can buy some shares. This money I don't need it. If I don't use it now, I might not be able to even give account of what I will use the money for. Then you start looking at buying shares, you start accumulating it small, and that is how it go. But you can't use your house rent money that you are saving every month, that you are putting aside every month. You can't go and put it inside. You can't go and say you want to use it to buy shares. You can't say you want to use it, to buy mutual fund. I will explain all these things. I'm just doing some housekeeping for us. The money you are saving for your children's school fees, that school fees is every three months you need to pay your children's school fees. You can't go and put it into all these things, because that is where people start having issues, and they will start saying this thing not they work, na lie, na fabu. It's because they didn't take their time to plan out, look at their goals and everything, to plan it out before they put money into it. They just see people talking about it. They thought it's magic. Okay, if I put them, by the time I go need that, the thing go don't appreciate. I go collect my money, I go get interest and all that. So those are the things we need to look at. You need to look at so many things, which we are going to talk about know your risk appetite. Risk and return go hand in hand in investing. If you are looking at low risks, the expected return will be low. If you are looking at high risks, your expected return will be very high. So you need to look at what level, what are your goals now? You need to look at your age before putting money into some things. Look at your age. How old are you? Are you married? Your children, what are they ready to go into the university now? Are you getting close to retirement? These are the questions that you need to look at before you will go and put your money in any type of investment. Because the truth is that as they are shouting, as people are talking about, MTN don't go up, this one don't go up, and they talk about all these things. If you don't take your time and look at yourself, your own peculiarity, your own personal finance to make this decision, it might be a sorry state later. Now, someone that is 50 years old, you can't tell her to go and put all her life savings into an investment, let me say into a share, into a company's share, because it might go up, it might go down. But there are strategies you can tell that person that, okay, depending on your risk appetite, if you have the muscle to carry some things, this money you can divide it into 3. Put this one here, put this one here, put this one here, so that if anything happens, you still have the ones that you will use as shock absorber. Investing across different asset classes such as stock, mutual fund, ETF, etc. can help balance and maximize return. That is what I just said. That if you have money, you have 5 million naira, for example, I won't advise you to go and put the 5 million naira into one single investment, vehicle. There are a lot of questions that I need to ask the person. What are your goals? What are you looking at? Your children, how old are they? What are your plans for their education? Do you have any retirement plan? Do you have pension? These are you ask all these questions so that you'll be able to have a total view of that person's personal finance before you will now know how to advise the person on what to do else. Have you built a house? Do you have a landed property? A lot of questions come in. So please, we need to be careful when it comes to, investing, in as much as it's very good to create wealth, it's very good to build wealth, but we need to have this fundamental knowledge, we need to have this understanding about it. Now, how do we make money from shares? From this investment, all these investments that we are talking about, how do we make money from it? We make money from dividend payments. Now, let me explain. A share is a unit of a stock. So we interchange these words sometimes. You hear of shares, you hear of stock, you hear of equity. We are almost saying the same thing, even though if they want to, those that are in that field, if they want to write it now, there's a different way they will write it down. A share is just one unit of a stock. That means that I own maybe like one share in GTB. GTB is about 101 naira or 102 naira, thereabouts now. So I own just one, which is like 101 naira or 102 naira. A stock is like you are owning a fraction now. A fraction. So by the time you are now buying like 100, 200, 300 of GTB shares, then you can say a stock, that your stock in GTB. Now, what are we talking about shares? What is the meaning of share? What is the meaning of stock? The simple term is just somebody is calling us to say, oh, this is my business where I do. I need money to expand the business. I not get money. Come, make we be part owner of this business. And how can we be part owner of this business? Now, they've done the value of the business. Like, okay, this business now, the total value now, maybe how much, 500 million naira or whatever. And, they have a way the experts do the valuation of this company. So the person, the owner of the business is now saying, okay, for 1 unit, if you buy 1 unit of the share of this, my company, I'm going to sell it for 50 naira. You can buy a minimum of 1,000 units, for example, and there is a maximum you can buy, because if they don't put that maximum, you will just sleep and wake up one day and discover that somebody is trying to buy the whole share of the company. in order to take over the company. So they put all these limits to it. So if the person say, okay, the minimum you can buy is 1,000 units, so it will now be 50 naira of one share times 1,000 of that unit. It will now give you the amount that you will put into the company. Do we understand? So the share is just like, come by, my business don't grow, reach some level, I need more money to expand the business. I use the example of GTB, for example. They need to open branches, they need to improve their IT unit, they need to bring in more modern ATM machine, they need to do a lot of things, and they are telling people, come and buy. And if we make money, we go share the profits together. So that is where dividend payment is coming into place now. The dividend payment now is the profits that we are now sharing, that they are sharing with all the people that have bought their shares, all the people that are part owners with GTB. Do we understand? Please, I need a feedback. Do we understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So, the dividend payment now is the profit they've made for the year. So they can say that, this year, or this period, this first quarter report, like maybe you've been seeing people say the first quarter report and everything, and you're wondering what is happening. They say, for this first quarter report, we made a profit of 1 billion naira after all expenses have been paid. So if you are looking at the financials of company, the thing will look like, waiting be all these jargons where they put here. There are different type of profit before tax, profit before this one, but at the end of it, the total profit they made after all expenses, after everything that they need to pay have been paid, is, for example, they say 500 million naira, they declare 500 million as the profit. They will now look for how they will share these profits to the different shareholders of the company. That is where dividend payments comes in. And sometimes that is the cash now. If you can see the screen, dividend payment, I put in brackets, I put cash or shares. And sometimes they will say, okay, we made profit, but we don't want to share this money. We won't put the money back into our business because we still need a lot of things to do. They will now say, okay, for those of you that already have shares with us, for every 10 shares that you have, that means, for example, if you have 100 shares with the company, with GTB, for example, now they will now say, for every 10 share, we will give you additional 1 share. So your 10 share will become 11. Another 10 share will become 22. So the 100 shares you have with them will now become 105 shares, 105 units of shares that you have. So instead of them sharing the profits in cash as dividend payment, they're now telling you that we want to put it as shares for you. So, that is one way of making money in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Another way is capital appreciation. This capital appreciation is the one that you hear people talk about the more. The capital appreciation is saying that, okay, when we buy GTB shares, we buy at 50 naira. But today now, if you go market, stock exchange market, the share don't become 100 naira. So the 50 naira where you buy them before now, it don't turn to 100 naira. So that is the capital appreciation. That is where people make money. So you can now decide that I buy these shares in February, 50 naira. This is August 2nd, it don't turn to 100 naira. I won't sell and make I carry my money. I want use and buy another shares, or I want to use it for something else. Or okay, my daughter is going to school in August, September, is going to the university. I need to pay her school fees. You remove the money. So you can imagine somebody that bought MTN. I don't know if there's anybody here that was in my class in, I think, March or February. I had about 2 classes in March, in February or so. Then I mentioned MTN was about 200 and something naira then. Now MTN is about 400 and how much now. So if somebody has bought MTN, maybe 1,000 units of MTN then at 200 and something, and now MTN is 400 and something, can you imagine the capital appreciation, the amount that has been accumulated? And what determines this capital appreciation is the performance of the company. The performance, how the company is performing. And sometimes, it has a lot of things determine it anyway. But one of the simple ways that I can put it is the performance, how the company is doing will determine how the value of the company will be going. And again, it's a thing of demand and supply. So now somebody might come and say, I want to buy shares of MTN. And in the market, the person is saying, I'm willing to pay 500 naira to buy 5,000 units of MTN shares. So they will start looking, okay, how many people are in the market that want to sell these MTN shares? How many people are there? And if they don't have enough people, maybe they've seen, like, maybe it's just 2,000 units that is available to sell. They start looking for a way to increase the price so that it will ginger people to say they want to sell. And the person that is willing to pay 500 naira will be able to buy. So a lot of factors, demand and supply, also play around in this capital, in what makes the share of a company to go up. Probably the person that is ready to pay 500 naira for the shares and he wants to buy 5,000 units has heard something about MTN to hear that very soon, MTN want to do this, so their value will go up. And the person is already looking at, that means that before December, MTN shares will go enter 700 naira, or let me quickly buy. So those are the things that, affect all these things, rumors. The real performance of the company also, when they release their financials, people see it that they are doing well and they are ready to buy more. So, these are the two ways that we can make money from Nigerian stock, from the money market, CSCS. That CSCS is like your bank account number. So with that, everything that you buy in the market, is in that account. So when you log in with that, when you log into your stockbroking platform with your CSCS, you see everything there. And those of us that have bought, if peradventure we've bought shares before now, there's something called dematerialization. You will fill form and everything, and they will now transfer it into your present platform, into the platform that you are using to buy your shares now. So everything is now digitalized. It's now simple for us to do all these things. Now, with all what I have said, as a beginner, where can you put your money? There is Treasury bill. Treasury bill, you must have been hearing people saying TB, Treasury bill and all that. Treasury bill is you are borrowing government money. It's for a short term. Treasury bill, we have the Treasury bill of 91 days. We have the Treasury bill of 182 days. We have the Treasury bill of 364 days. That is like a year. That Treasury bill is backed by the federal government. So you are saying the federal government is saying we need money to do some project work. We need money to do some things. We need people to borrow us money to do these things. And people come and say, okay, I want to put my money and all that. And of course, the federal government would have mentioned what the discount rate is going to be. So that discount rate is like the interest, what you will get for putting down that money. And, people do that. People do that through even commercial banks. If you go to commercial banks, you can do that, but you can also do it through different trading companies, stockbrokers on their platform. Some you will need to write to them that you want to put money into Treasury bill and all that. But it's a very common thing with commercial banks that you can do. It's just for shorter terms. Now the bond The bond now is also you are borrowing federal government money. But this one is for a longer time, a longer term. So the bond is a minimum of 2 years that you can put the money there with the federal government. 2 to 3 years, you put your money there. So the two of them, it's they have similar. You are borrowing government money, but one is for shorter term, the other one is for a longer term. So you'd have heard people say, Treasury bill was going for 22%, now it has reduced and all that. Bond is going for so, it has reduced and all that. The good thing about this one is that it is backed by the federal government, except, God forbid, bad thing, that Nigeria stop to exist. That is when you won't be able to get your money. But as long as there is a country called Nigeria, you will get your money. You will get your money back, and you will get what they've promised you, that this is what you are going to get as the percentage increment or the annual yield on it, and everything, you will get it back as long as there's a country called Nigeria. The Treasury bill, like I said, you can do for 91 days, you can do for 182 days, you can do for 364 days. The bond you can do for a minimum of 2 years. And again, they have minimum amounts that they use. Like Treasury bill, they call for 50 million naira. Don't be shaken by the big amounts. When you go to the bank, they will tell you some of them still have a way of letting people put their money 1 million, 2 million, and all that. They have a way they go about it. So that is that about Treasury bill and the bond. These are simple ways you can start investing your money. These are simple ways you can start investing your money and start seeing it, like the bond now, almost every quarter, people get their interest, quarter or semi-annually. You get the money, you get what you are supposed to get from it. Treasury bill at majority, if you go for the 91 days, you get your money back. You also get up with the Treasury bill now. Let's assume you want to put, what is it called? Let's assume you want to put, I'm looking for a figure to call now. Let's assume you want to put 1 million naira in Treasury bill for 364 days, and they said the discounted rate is 10%. So you will get your 10% of that 1 million immediately. So it is as if you are putting down 900,000. And when the money matured at 364 days, you will get your 1 million naira back. That is what it means. The bond, almost every six months, semi-annually or biannually, you get your interest also. Whatever is calculated for that period, you get it back too. I hope we understand. Now, let's go to mutual fund. I'm using these ones because these are the risks involved in this one are low and it's for beginners. So you can start with this one to start getting experience, to start getting knowledge about how all these things work before you can now start saying you want to go deep into some other investment vehicle that you might want to go into. Now, mutual fund is just saying that I don't have the time to all this story that I've been talking since. You don't have time, you don't even understand, you don't have time. So if I can get somebody that will do this thing for me, I will just be putting the money there. So mutual fund is managed by professionals. Professionals, like, let me say, for example, now Stanbic IBTC investment arm, now their asset management arm, they have professionals there that their work is to look for different investment vehicles that they can put together, and they now call it mutual fund. And they now ask people, come, let us pool money together to invest into this fund. We'll manage it for you people. So mutual fund be like, say somebody come meet you now, say, okay, come, You bring 10,000, you bring 50,000, you bring 1 million according to the money where you get. Me, I fit manage this thing, I be expert, I fit manage this thing very well. Making I bring this money, we go put them into buying of this fund, buying of these shares. And at the end of maybe 1 year or 3 months or whatever, we will share the profits. So that is what mutual fund is saying. It is handled by professional. You are less concerned about if na MTN they use and buy or everything. No. As at that, I'm just talking about the literal meaning now of mutual fund. But again, putting money in mutual fund does not guarantee that the money will increase. This is where we need to take note again, because there are different types of mutual fund in the market. So if, for example, you enter Stanbic IBTC Bank on Monday and you say you want to put your money into mutual fund, or you enter GTB, for example, and you say you want to put your money into mutual fund, they say, okay, they start talking to you. Please, you need to clarify and ask them, what type of mutual fund are they trading on now? What type of mutual fund do they have? Because they have different type of mutual fund that they are trading on. So you need to know, if you are the type that you want your money, you want to be sure that your money is growing. You just want them to tell you, I put this money, how much interest I go see after 1 year. That the type of mutual fund where I want put my money be that. Then they will tell you if they have that particular product. If they don't have, they will tell you the type that you have, the type that they have. So please, as we are talking about mutual fund, you need to ask questions about the type of mutual fund. There is fixed income fund. So this fixed income fund now, those ones, they put the money into treasury bills, maybe treasury bills, bond and all that. They are sure that they can tell you that you will get 8% return on this money, because they are sure of the interest that the government has given them for the treasury bill. They are sure of the interest that the government has given them for the bond. So they can give you an assurance, a guarantee to say, okay, this fixed income, this one is fixed income fund. And, we are sure of this, so we can tell you that we can give you 8% or whatever the interest that they can give to you is. But if the money is into equity fund, I hope we are understanding now. Fixed income, it is fixed, just like something that is fixed in a place. And that money, they put it into treasury bills. For example, they put it into fixed income securities and investment that they pay a fixed return on an investment. That is just the simple term, the way I can explain it. The equity fund now invest mostly in stocks and shares of companies that are quoted. Now, this equity fund, there is no guarantee of what your return will be. But they have the impression that it gives higher returns, but are also associated with high risks. So, for example, they can put the money into MTN, put it into Treasury B, put it into MTN, put it into Cabri, put it into Nestle, put it into. So, if those stocks, if those shares of the company are doing well, you are sure that by the end of the period that you put your mutual fund, you will get good returns on it. But if they did not do well, that means your money, the return you will get on it might be small, or even your capital, the money that you put into it, might be reduced. So that you put 1 million naira and the thing did not do well. At the end of the day, you can get 900,000 or 950,000 back, because the place they put the money is in equity, is in shares, is equity fund. So please try and ask questions to ask them what kind of mutual funds, what kind of mutual fund are you putting, what kind of funds are you putting this money? Is it guaranteed? Is it equity and all that? Just ask, because they have a whole lot different type based on the company you want to use, either Stanbic, either GTB, either ARM. They all have different this thing that they use. Then there is mixed income fund. So that mixed equal income fund now is like, they put some of the money in equity, they put some of the money in fixed income, they put some of the money in shares of different companies, they also put some percentage in treasury bills, in bond and all that. So the risk is not as high as equity fund. So please, I just ask question about these things. If you can't go to the bank to ask all these questions, you can read online, to get understanding. Go to their website, you will see they will list it there. You can read about it so that you will get understanding. So that you put your money in mutual fund is not a guarantee that your money will increase, your money will go up by the time you want to collect the money back. It depends on where they invest the money. It depends on the type of investment the type of mutual fund that you choose at the beginning when you wanted to put your money. So please ask question when it comes to mutual fund. When it comes to every form of investment, we need to ask question. But the mutual fund there is no guarantee. If you don't ask question and be sure that it is the one that you are guaranteed that, okay, they tell me, say, after this 1 year, if I put this money, I go get 10% of this money. But if they don't tell you any guarantee return, that means it can go up if the market is good, and it can go down. I hope we understand. There are bonds in the market too that is not federal government bond. Even some states issue bond. Some corporate organization also issue bond. So the one I'm talking about that I'm saying it is guaranteed is by the bond by the government. So please, FGN, Federal Government of Nigeria bond, that is what I'm talking about. The ones of the states is not, we don't usually dwell so much on that one because, you can't really expose people. You can't really expose people to some things that you yourself, you are still trying to, you've not put your money. Let me use that language ahead. So you have to be careful about it. Now let's talk about stock. Like I've explained before, stock, I'm saying, come on, let's make an account, make we be part owner of this business. We all now become shareholders. But as we dey talk, shareholders get level. You get shareholder where if the shareholder cough, bam, today now, the whole market go one nearly turn upside down. Do you understand? But that is not our own. That is not the focus here. The stock is saying that, come on, let's be part owner in this business and all that. So what you are going to buy depends on your level of the finance that you have. And with technology now, with all this app, the market has now been open to us that even with 2,000, with 5,000, you can start investing small. That is the beauty now. Before now, when I started buying shares, we will send email to the company. We will transfer money to the stock brokers account. We will send email to say, buy me so shares. If we want to sell too, we will send email. So those are the back and forth that we used to have. But now, the stock broker is in your pocket, is on your phone. It's about you opening it. You transfer money into the app. You do the buying. If you want to sell, you do the selling. It's now very easy for us. It's now very easy for for people to do. So the era of saying, I not get big now, big man, I they put money for shares. That era don't pass. Even mama where they sell pepper for market, in as much as he can operate the phone, in as much as he know where to press, and he understand this basic thing that I've explained, They can do it. And one simple thing that I used to tell people is, some people go say the grammar don't too many. The financial waiting, I don't understand. They go say financial report, the thing I don't even understand waiting there they talk. One simple rule that I used to tell people is, if you look at the companies that are selling shares, if you are looking at the companies that are in the market, which company have you consistently been hearing their name, either since when you are a baby or since when you have understanding, you've been hearing their name and you trust them and you believe in what they are doing? If you can put your money in that company, like for example now, I grew up hearing about USCN. That is Gala, people that produce Gala. For example, they are USCN, Gala. I grew up hearing about Gala. I've been eating Gala for how many years and everything. So if there is no company that I can even trust, Gala has been there. USCN has been there over the years. Even though their own stock does not increase, the way other companies and everything. But I can still, for me personally, now I'm talking about me, for example, if I can't read fundamentals, I can't start following all those, their profit and all those long financials and datas and everything. But I know USCN don't they, and I dey hear good thing about USCN. Now even I've heard that they are into, maybe they've bought over Shifita and all that. I can put my money in it. So this are simple way. I've been hearing of Cadbury. I've been hearing of Cadbury. I can put my money in Cadbury. Do you understand? These are companies that have been in Nigeria for how many years? And of course, we know that that they did well last year does not guarantee that they will do well this year. But for me, I'm just talking for me. If I'm a layman that I don't understand all these things, these are things that I will look, these companies that I can stay with, that I believe that even if anything happens to their shares now, I know that they will bounce back. I trust them that they will bounce back. Then, and what they are selling is into my own, is what I believe in. We share the same value. For me personally now, I can't put my money into companies that sell things they smoke, drinking, the alcoholic drink and all that. It doesn't align with my own value, so I won't put my money there. But if I see companies, USA, and it align with my values, I can put my money there. So these are the things that form your decision on what to do and what not to do. I hope we understand. So we have a whole lot of company in the Nigerian stock exchange that are selling their shares. Now I'm going to sign in. We are going into the practical now. I'm going to sign in and show us how we can go about it, how we can go about this. Steps that we can take to open an account, a trading account with this company. There are simple things. You can download the app and put on your phone. I will mention how many. I can mention 2 or 3 companies that you can download their app, or some of them don't have app. Sure, most of them don't have app, but they've been in this market for a very long time. They have you can log in through their website. What do they need? They need your what is it called? NIM. They need your passport. And if you don't have passports, no problem. If you are using app, if it's their app that you've downloaded on your phone, when it gets to that point to say upload passports, you can switch the phone and just snap yourself immediately. Then you will see that option there. Just snap your face as you are sitting down and it will upload. Once your face is captured, it will upload. So they need your NIM, they need your passport, they need signature. So you can just sign on a paper, you snap it and you upload it on your phone. They need your utility bill. Utility bill, I know now most people don't pay NEPA. We don't pay NEPA bill the way we used to pay now. Before, most houses now buy card and everything. So for you, the reason they need that utility bill is to verify your home address. So you can download your bank statements in the bank from your bank app. or you go to your bank and you tell them to give you your bank statement, even if it's just 1 week bank statement or 1 month bank statement, so that they won't charge you too much, because bank now they charge per page. What you need there is the address on your bank statement. Just make sure you capture that and upload. It is okay within 24, 48 hours, or at maximum 72 hours. If there is nothing, they will get back to you. Your account they would have opened that account, you would have gotten your CSCS and everything that you need to start trading. So it is as simple as that. Like I said, things that you need your NIM slip, because these are things we upload. Your NIM slip, your passport. If you don't have passport, just snap yourself the way you are sitting down as you are filling the form. You need your utility bill. If you don't have utility bill, you get your bank statement from the bank and just capture that address area. And you need your signature. Some of them has for signature. Just sign on the paper, snap, and upload. You know, that is just, those are just for then you follow the prompt, your name and every other questions that they ask you. Do we understand? Can we see, is it showing on your phone? Oh, sorry, on your screen? Please, can you see the app?
Yes, you can see.
Okay. Okay, right. So this is, I've filled everything and done everything. So if you go to invest, if you click on invest, the invest is at the lower part, this side of where my cursor is showing. Sorry, my mouse, this thing is showing. You can see invest is at the lower part of the app. Now you will see invest. If you click on invest, you will see Nigeria stock, Treasury bill, commercial bank, AfriTrack. So when you click on Nigerian stock, you can see it is listed alphabetically. So you can see different stock that has been listed there. You can see ABC Transport. You can see Academy, Access Corp, and all that. You can see ICO. You can see, so these are the price per share, per one share. These are the prices that we can see there, per one share. These are the prices. But let me tell us that this is weekend. So the market is closed Saturday and Sunday. They will resume back on Monday. So they resume Nigerian time, that they resume is from 9, I think from 9:30. You can start trading from 9:30 to about 2:30 every day, Monday to Friday. So these prices that we are seeing, by Monday, it might have gone up or it might have come down by Monday when the markets open. So that is how the prices fluctuate. So these prices that I'm seeing here, they are not the current price. Do you understand? Please. But we are using it as, I just need to show us and let us understand this thing. So these are not the current price. But let's assume, for example, you want to buy, let me say, ICO. ICO is an insurance company. Or let me say Airtel Africa, you can see 2,200. Can you, a share in Airtel is this one, you can see it's the red, you can see the Airtel icon there. It's 2,200. So let's assume you want to buy, you click on it and you click on buy. And if you have money, depending on the amount, before you buy, you would have found your wallet. So you click on wallet. If you look at the lower part, you will see wallet there. So you click on that wallet and you click on deposits. So if you see from my own hand, you will see 4,959.69. It was done this afternoon. I was trying to send to deposit money, but the thing has not reflected, so it's showing pending. But if you click on deposit money, it will ask you question. No, I don't want to create a virtual account. I'll just click on not now. I will enter the amount I want to transfer. I hope we can see the screen. And I click on let's assume I want to fund my account with 5,000 naira. Or let me even make it more this thing so that it won't look at that 5,000 is too much. Let's say I want to fund my account with 2,000 naira. I click on next. It asks, do I want to use credit or debit card? Do I want to use bank transfer? I click on bank transfer. It will bring out an account number that is automatically generated for me. This is my account number with them. And it's with Wema Bank. And this is the account name they've given me, PEJ. This is the account. So I will just copy it and transfer the 2,000. Once I've transferred the 2,000, I come back and I click on transfer done. And that is it. Money is already in my wallet. The money will reflect on my wallet if everything goes well. That is when I can now come to invest. And okay, this app is Afri Investo. Let me type it. Someone is asking me the name. Afri Investo or Afriverse or something. So when you go to Google Store, you will see it there. You will see it there. So you now come to Nigerian stock and you look at the one you want to buy and you click on it. Let's say it's ICO, for example, you want to buy. You click on ICO and it shows 1 naira 50 kobo. You click on, for me, it's showing buy again because I've already bought some shares. So if I click on buy again, it gives me this option of, because the market is closed now. Because the market is closed now, I have to put in today's date is this day, but whatever I'm going to do, I'll put the limit price that I want to buy. If I can put like 1 naira 50 kobo. 1 naira 50 kobo. I put the units I want to buy, maybe 500 units. So you can see it's showing me the available money that I have in my account is 3 naira 64 kobo. Remember I told you that I tried transferring money, it has not reflected yet. So if everything, like the money is there, I can click. There's a place I can click and show that, this thing that I have, this order that I have placed is for 3 days or it's for 7 days. Within 3 days or 7 days, if the shares come to 1 naira 50 kobo or whatever, you can buy for me. Remember I told you that this 1 naira 5 kobo that we are seeing is not the actual price until on Monday when the markets open, before we'll be sure of what the actual price is. So during the working days is the actual time we can actually see the actual price. Weekend is not the best time for us to really make decision concerning it. But I just need to show us how the app is. Like I said, this is the home page of the app. You can click on invest or you can click on fund wallet. If you don't have money, for you to do any transaction, you need to fund your wallet. So wetin I dey talk be say with this app now, we can trade, we can buy shares. It's just for us to download this app and put. Now there are different apps, there are different assets company in the market. I'm using this one as an example. This is Afri Invest or Afri Investo. When you go to Google Store, you can download it. You can also directly log in on websites. If you don't want to download app on your phone, you can go to their website and also sign up and do everything. So there is no issue, either the app or the website, whichever one that you are comfortable with. So you need to fund your wallet first. Make sure there is money in your wallet. Then you come to invest. Of course, before you come to invest, you would have done be sure of which company you want to buy their shares. You would have been sure of which company you want to buy their shares. Like I mentioned, they are listed alphabetically. You can see Better Glass, Beggar Paints, Cadbury, Champion, all sorts, Shams. They are there. Corn Oil. They are all, this dark communication. They are there. But be sure of which company you want to buy into. And from there, you click on it and you continue. Just follow the prompt like that. Though there are some things that we still need to understand, like limit order, market order, and all that. Those are another class that we can really go deep into that. But I just need to show us this. I think the internet is slow, so some of these things is taking a while before it will upload. You can see Guarantee Trust. You can see Guarantee. This is Guarantee Trust Bank. It's showing Guarantee is showing 100 naira. So a unit of share in Guarantee is 100 naira. So if you want to buy, you can buy as much and as little as you have power. So even if now 1,000 naira you get, even if now 2,000 naira you get, you see this money when we they use buy shawarma, when we they use buy puff, when we they spend anyhow, we can put it into this thing and be buying these shares and be accumulating it gradually. We don't have to wait until we have big money. We just need to discipline ourselves. There was a day that, I don't even know what happened. I just saw that I have one extra money. I just said, okay, let me see. And I bought, I just transferred the money into the app and I just bought what I can buy, what the money can buy. You don't have to wait for one big money. As we did here, so I'm sure some of us, this weekend alone, we've spent more than 20,000 buying whatnot. Things that are not beneficial to us. But at the end of the month, we go, they say, money not there, I not get money. It's just about discipline. It's just about us looking at ourselves and telling ourselves, with the way I am living, in the next 10, 15, 20 years, what will happen to me? How will I survive? What can I do now that will help me to survive, that will help me to live a comfortable life when I retire? When you retire, let it be that it's a thing you decide to still continue to work, maybe do business or do something, but it's not under compulsion. It's not under, if I not work, I not go eat. So these are things that we need to look at. We all pray that our children will be successful. We all pray that our children will do well. Fine, we've heard stories of families that their children are doing well, doing fantastic, they are doing well, but they are not taking care of their parents. It could be because of family marital issue. Maybe the guy go marry one girl where no one see family. Maybe the girl go marry one man where no one see family. So what will happen to those parents? So, it's just about you planning, strategizing how you want to live your life. You don't want to live in the next how many years in depression. For example, now if I ask some of us, since the beginning of this year, come and give account of your salary, while I go come. You just know, say the money they enter, the money they go out. The money they enter, the money they go out. Nothing to show for it though. This is August. The past 7 months, how did you spend your salary? If you are doing your business, the past 7 months, how much have you paid yourself as salary, and what have you done with that money? So, I'm saying this just to encourage us that these things are simple. If you want to save, there is saving app. that you can use to save. If you want to invest, there are investment apps that we have around you. There is Meristem, there is ARUM, GTB, they have their own investment app. Stanbic IBTC, they have. First Bank, they have. So there is no excuse again. The knowledge is there. Little, you don't need to know everything from day one, but you can start like this one that I've just shown you now. If you can download it and you just put 2,000 or you put 5,000, say pata, if I go buy rubbish, 5,000 no go kill me. They use 5,000 naira buy shawarma, they use 5,000 naira buy whatever. And you just use it to play around, to understand and see how the thing work. Please do to use. You can just use this list of, okay, this is what Nigerian Stock Exchange said. These are the top 10 brokers that are doing well based on their performance report. So the report is in volume. The volume is talking about the quantity of shares that they traded for that period. We can see this is just for a week report. Start date 7th of April 2025 through end date 11th of April 2025. So at the end of that week, every week they used to bring out this report, then they bring out every month, then they bring out every year. So if you go to the Nigeria Stock Exchange, you will see these things, they are there. They have lists of stockbrokers that are licensed, and you will also see the ones that were licensed before, but now they are no longer active. Maybe they've done one thing or something, they've revoked their license. You will see it there. So now for this one, we can see broker CSSL, that is Cardinal Stone Securities, Morgan Capital Securities, Cordros Securities, EFG. These names are not popular. Meristem Stockbrokers, I've been with Meristem for a long time. CSL Stockbrokers, United Capital, Coronation, Fortress. The names are there for us to see, names that are not popular. And Sharple E now is in value, so it's the performance in terms of value. This first one is in terms of volume, the quantity, the number of shares they sold. You know that you sell a lot of shares does not mean that the money will be so big. It depends on, like ICO shares that we saw is about 1 naira, how much. So if you sell 100,000 units of ICO share, how much would that be compared to if you sell 100,000 units of MTN? How much is MTN compared to ICO? So that is what this category is talking about. The first one is in volume. The second one is in value, in terms of money. So you can see Cordros, EFG, Cardinal Stone, Sharple E, the guy that asked question about MTN. Now you can see Sharple E there too. So, you know, these are lists you can now use and Google them to check who are they. If they have an app, you can download the app and, you know, use them. If they don't have, you can send them an email, depending on you, what you want to do. But the summary is that we don't have excuse again. Now, let me mention, some of them will tell you that you need a minimum balance for you to operate, for you to trade. So some of them have a minimum of 5,000 something, just like bank. Some bank will tell you zero balance. Some bank will tell you you need to have 1,000 naira in your balance before you can withdraw or before you can do anything. So that's the same way they also have their requirements.